Welcome back, dear listeners, to another episode of Morning Musings and Midnight Chats with Nigel and Nat. So there's a lot going on in the world, as we know. We're being bombarded. It's an assault on our ears, our minds, our hearts, our souls, our very souls. And I'm going to share a little bit about myself in this episode because I think it's important. And you know what? I'm cool with anybody knowing that, yeah, I go to counseling on a regular basis. You know why? Because I don't think many people are going to be okay these days without seeking some kind of community counseling, whatever you've got to do, because this is very real. I've been reading, and I don't know how much. Have you been on TikTok a lot, Nigel? A lot these days?
Recently, not at all.
And why is that?
Because of the hostile takeover. I'm calling it, those are my words, hostile takeover.
Okay. Because of the hostile takeover. Okay, let's see. My computer is doing something. I got to do that. Okay. Sorry, I had to take care of that. I am going to be backing off of social media just for self-preservation reasons. And why is this? I know a lot of you out there are very frightened. If you are a minority, if you are a Native American, they are taking Native Americans and they don't care if you have enrollment papers. They'll still detain you. I just saw a TikTok video the other day where a 17-year-old tribally enrolled Native young man was dumped out in a town that he's not even from. They took him from his workplace. They beat him. And then they put him in the van. There's footage of this where they're actively beating him and then putting him in an ICE vehicle. He's saying, and he's telling the person who's recording it, his name. He's telling them, I am an enrolled tribal member. I have papers. I have a number. I'm an American. And they don't care. And they beat him. He's underage. He's a kid. If you are if you're under 18, you're a kid. That's a minor. Mm-hmm. And they took him away when they realized that he legitimately is an enrolled tribal member with a number. They didn't take him back to his place of work where he could get help for his wounds. They dumped him on the street in front of a Target where other onlookers, then there's a second part of a video that he asked, please send this to my phone, or I don't know what he did, but somehow he got hold of both pieces of footage so that he could put them together. And you can hear him hysterical. He's crying. He's hurt. And this person is asking, are you okay? What just happened? Like he saw him being dumped out of the van onto the pavement. And this person starts recording right away and starts, talking to him. Are you okay? What just happened? What? And he's like, they took me. You can hear him through his sobs. They took me. They beat me. He's like, you're bleeding. The onlooker is saying you're bleeding. And then you see the legs of other people starting to gather around him. To me, it looks like a couple of women. What's going on? Is he okay? Do you need help? And this kid is trying through his sobs to say, I'm hurt. They took me from my job. They beat me. They detained me. And I showed them my enrollment number. And they just draw. I don't even know where I am. And then he says, like, is this still? And then he names his town. And the guy's like, oh my God, no, you're miles away. Okay, let's get some help. And they didn't even know what to do. The onlookers didn't even know what to do. They didn't know if they should call the police. They didn't know, like, they were asking him, is there a number I can call for you? I'm trying real hard to maintain my composure. Because the first time that I saw that video, I literally was in my kitchen and I started screaming because I was so angry. There was no, like, I wasn't screaming any words. I was just screaming. And I want to say to people, because then I go in comments and I see other TikToks and I see all these comments of, we need to do something, da 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 da. Even I had said something on a different kind of video, similar. Like, now it just got personal because it was the day that I found out that Alex, his parents are from Colorado. Just knowing that makes it personal. It does not matter where these things are happening or who they are happening to. At some point, all of these events that may seem distant to some people are going to start hitting home. But they hit home for me anyway, because there are people like me who, when you watch somebody suffering or in pain, you feel their pain. And then you worry for yourself. I mean, if you're a minority, any minority, even if you're Native American, even if you were born here, there's still a real fear. And I was talking, yes, I called my mommy. I was talking to my mommy and I was explaining there are days where I spend in bed crying. There are just about every night I can't sleep because my anxiety is so intense that I cannot sleep, or I'm so angry I don't even know what to do with myself. And so I walk around my house and I'm like, okay, try and think logically, that I'm okay, that my universe is okay right now when the entire world out there is on fire. And my mom said something that made me stop and think. She's like, the saddest part about this whole experience is that when that POS is gone, there's still going to be the aftermath, not just of dealing with whoever's going to come after him, but the aftermath of of all the trauma that is being handed out to people who already have mental health issues. Now we're going to have an entire nation that's been traumatized by this whole administration. And no one is even going to answer for it. No one's going to answer for the people that spent years being terrified to go outside their house, years being terrified to go out to lunch with their friends, wondering if ICE is around the corner. And I thought about that. I spoke to my counselor tonight, and I said, what the hell? She's like, right now in my private practice, I only have 10 clients, and every single one of them is experiencing what you're experiencing. She's like, this is real PTSD forming. She's like, if this is only like one, if I'm only one counselor and these are only 10 in my private practice, I'm not even counting, she's like, my regular job. She's like, think about how this administration is literally crippling, changing the brain chemistry through fear throughout this entire nation. An entire generation of children are now going to be forever paranoid that maybe they'll come home one day and their parents aren't going to be there. Whether they're black, white, native, Hispanic, it doesn't matter now. And how do you fight that?
Well, we're finding ways. I mean, ditto to all that, what you said. I mean, that's powerful. Those are powerful words. I will try to offer some small comfort by reminding people that that yes, this is a shared experience, and the resistance is also a shared resistance, and so for every one of the horrors that is taking place on just about a daily basis now, we have people coming together in new ways to push back and to draw the line and say, this ain't gonna fly. So take it for what it's worth. And I know that if you're directly affected by it, and if you've, God forbid, you're someone who has lived through, a ICE detention or worse, it's hard to say anything that is comforting, but, I mean, I have seen other videos where there are people coming together in ways they have not in a long time. And it's unfortunate that it takes such a disgusting figure to come along and really fuck things up to have this kind of solidarity. I mean, we should be, coming together like this all the time. I mean, we should always have each other's back, not just in times of crisis, right? Mm-hmm. So, but I have seen that. I have seen amazing things happen in response, and it's going. We're going to have to continue, and that's the reason we make podcasts. That's the reason we do radio. We're going to have to do more. And just think of how many conversations just like this one are happening right now. Well,
one of the things that occurred to me as I was making these comments, and there are still ugly people who respond negatively and say, and what are you going to do? You're not going to do anything. Nothing. What are you going to do? Nothing. And it's like, and people who even challenge, like, well, what are you worried about? You're fine. Nothing's happening to you. Ladies and gentlemen, when this kind of violence is occurring all across the nation, and we are, in a way, being forced to witness it, you have to ask yourself, is it just because people are out of control and they're just oversharing their experience? No. It's funny because you mentioned that TikTok is being censored and blah, 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 blah. If they really wanted to censor it, then none of these kinds, I find it very funny that none of these kinds of videos would be allowed to get through, because isn't that showing the violence? And then I thought about it and I'm like, wait a second. That's exactly what they want. They want us to see the violence. They want us to be in fear. Because if we are in fear, then we are what? We will comply. They're only going to censor what they see fit, but they're not going to censor the violence. They're not going to censor that. Nobody has taken down any of the videos on TikTok where when Alex was shot. Unfortunately, I was scrolling that day, and when I thought I was just watching a protest, I didn't realize that I didn't realize that I was actually going to witness somebody being shot live. That was live. They're not censoring that. They want us to be shaking in our boots in our houses. And trust me, I've been doing that for a very long time. But you know what? This is how you're going to fight back. Because there are many of us who cannot be on the front line and be rioting or not rioting, that's the wrong word, fighting for other people's rights. We cannot be on the front lines. We cannot leave our jobs. Some of us are disabled. Some of us are just afraid. And that fear is legitimate. We're not reacting just to be dramatic or because, you know, we're I don't know, we're weak in some way. Because what happens halfway across the nation could very well, as we know, happen to you the next day. But while many of you, thank God, are okay, you have to remember that right now, where you are, even though you may be afraid, that you are okay. You are okay right now. You are okay. And it took me a moment to realize, okay, all these things are happening. They are very real. The threat is real. They will now go after anybody. It doesn't matter if you're an American. It doesn't matter if you have a passport. It doesn't matter if you are a tribally enrolled Native American. It doesn't matter if you're white. They'll shoot you if you're white. They'll shoot you if you're brown, black, Asian, doesn't matter. They'll shoot you in the face. That's a real threat to us. And so we must fight with all of our might to remember that where we are right now, we're okay. Right now. If you are at home, if you're listening to this, if you're in your car, you're okay. And be grateful for what you do have. Be grateful for that, you know, that you are driving in your car, that you are going to work. If you are out of work, there's still opportunity to find work. You gotta have faith and keep looking, but you gotta focus. We cannot focus all of our energy on outside external things that are out of our control. Because if we lose ourselves, then they win. They win every time they terrorize us. They win with every instance of violence that they are not taking down, that they want us to see. They win every time we say, no, I'm not going to go outside. They win every time they have literally terrorized us into submission. There are videos out there that if you want to educate yourself, you can. You can know what to do. You can know that if you are an international adoptee, have your passport if you have one. Have your passport card with you. Never have your original documentation on you. Have copies of it. Have your family members have copies of it. And tell your family members, tell neighbors, tell friends where they can get the original ones. Have an immigration lawyer on the ready. Do the things that you can do to make yourself feel like you can breathe. And then fight back by engaging in things that are going to enrich your lives. I don't care if that's basket weaving. I don't care if it's crocheting until the cows come home. If it's making connections and community, a safe way that I just learned tonight to find yourself community. If you're feeling afraid and alone, check out Skool. I don't know if y'all have heard of Skool, SKOOL.com, Skool.com. It's a place where if you type in anything, you can type in political fear, political grief, or crocheting. I don't care what your community is. If you're looking for community, you will find them. A lot of them are for free. You get to chat with people. You get to meet with people. It's a great way to organize, because you can create your own community. You can create your own chat groups. You can invite people to them. SKOOL.com, Skool. And
all right.
Investing in your tribe, let's call them, investing in yourselves, delving into things, read more books, read more magazines, but there is no shame in rediscovering those things that bring you joy. And by remaining in gratitude and joy for the things that are going right in your life, for the things that you do have, for the people that you do have, that is how you fight back. That is how you fight back from the fear they want you in. Every day. Take the time for yourself. Take time with friends.
Yeah.
And remember you're not alone.
No. Yeah, and it is about fear versus love, right? There was a quote, I don't remember who said it. It was like, when the power of love overtakes the love of power, when real change happens, or something along those lines. I don't know if that's direct, but yeah.
Nice.
And so the love, fear thing is real. And just remember too, that the people who are about power, they don't have something the rest of us have. And that is enormous, abundant creativity. Mm-hmm. They don't have it. But we do. We find ways where nobody thought there was one. Right? Mm-hmm. It'll find a way. Love finds a way. So we're going to see this thing through.
And we can see it through together.
And together. And yes, and that's just, another. Please, if you're feeling isolated, don't stay there. Reach out. Don't stay there. Reach out to whoever it is. If you want to check out this website, Skool.com, do that.
You'll find a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything else to add, so thanks for listening to Morning Musings and Midnight Chats with Nigel and Nat. If you have comments, questions, or ideas you'd like to share, call our voice message line at 303-731-6104. See you next time. Javi Media.